Millions of Americans are nervous about losing critical food assistance in just 1 week after the Trump administration said it would not be using emergency funds to pay for federal food benefits. With at least 25 states planning to cut off benefits to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program amid the ongoing shutdown, families are scrambling for alternatives.
It's finding ways to make ends meet. Grateful for any sort of assistance programs. We're on WIC for my daughter, who's 13 months old, to get her formula and food. I'm showing up to food banks when I can. We're applying to jobs constantly. Our unemployment just ran out, so now we have no income coming in.
This is my first time visiting a food bank in my entire life. I've never had the need to do so in the past, but times change, and I'm in a moment or in a place where this is where I'm at.
Joining me now is Gina Platonino, Interim Director for SNAP at the Food Research and Action Center. That is a nonprofit where she addresses food insecurity. You must be a little bit stressed out these days. I got to.
Before we get into that, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me on the channel. This is unfortunate. The fact that, we're here as a country, but more importantly, even as I don't know, as individuals, and I know there's always the argument, oh, you can take responsibility for your, own self and financial well-being and so forth. Which is, I think that's all true. And I think most people would agree with that. As far as the government shutdown goes, and a lot of these people that are having to make these difficult decisions right now, and unemployment running out and things of that nature, this is disgusting. I mean, when you have federal workers that can't even, provide for their families anymore due to something out of their control, but they're expected to show up and punch a clock and do the work. And you ask, how do we even get here? Politicians on both sides, left and right. If you guys have watched the channel for any length of time, you know that I can care less for either side, just because I don't think that either side has had a good track record of actually getting things done. I mean, we're $36 trillion in debt. Probably more by now, but both sides have been in power. So, I mean, it's not a right or left thing. And it frustrates me to keep hearing that conversation being had on all the major news outlets when that's just not the case. Both sides have, don't have clean hands. Either side has clean hands in this situation, in my opinion. And this is just more of the same. You got to ask yourself, at some point, people are going to have the breaking point to where they just get sick of it. And what happens next, I don't know. But more importantly, I like to talk about investing because I think that's the only way out of the situation. I've heard people say if you give them permission to feed you, you also give them permission to starve you, or something like that. I don't know if you have a choice anymore. Group economics is the way to go. And it may be the only option at this point, because I don't know. There's no politician out there that's going to come and save anyone. They have shown that, again, both sides have shown they're not saving anyone. Opportunities are here, and you just got to find them and make it happen. I encourage everyone to start investing and doing something. Get educated, figure it out, live on less than you make, pay off your debts. It's the same. I know it's so redundant and also irritating. Yeah, we know it, but it truly is. That's the only way. And once you get there, then you can get some breathing room. Then you can be more creative. I think everyone, without a shadow of a doubt, should be on YouTube, should be on TikTok. Leverage all the platforms. Well, I don't have anything to say. Find something to say. Just get used to it. Figure it out, because this is going to be, this is going to be a wave, the new wave. The creator economy is set to grow. Oh man, I forgot the number off the top of my head, but you'd be surprised at just being able to find your audience Use that, leverage those talents and abilities that you already have. So let me get off my soapbox. All right, let's continue here.
Say, because you have millions of people facing the
Let me
daunting
fix my
possibility,
screen.
Gina, of losing SNAP benefits because of the government shutdown. So what are the major concerns you're hearing from families?
Yeah, and I just want to clarify that even with the government shutdown, this doesn't have to happen because Congress has given USDA the authority to issue funding so that millions of people don't have to go without food. And so we're hearing many individuals saying, can I pay my rent? Majority of people on SNAP make less than $1,000 a month. Their landlord's not going to say, oh, you didn't get SNAP this year, this month, and so you don't have food to feed your children. You don't have to pay your mortgage or you don't have to pay your rent. It is incredibly conflicting and challenging time for families at the same time where everything is more expensive.
So give me a sense of the kinds of households that typically.
This is just disgusting and disappointing all at the same time. God, this is so bad. Yeah, there should be some type of law that says like the politicians can't get paid. They don't get their health benefits until they're able to come together and actually agree on something. But this is, sorry, I'm just reading this. All right, let me let them rock out a little bit more.
Rely on the SNAP program, and then walk us through what comes next once these benefits are put on hold, which could happen a week from today.
Yeah, so we have majority of people on SNAP are children, right? Followed by people who are older adults, and then follow with people with disabilities. It's people who are veterans. It's people, youth aging out of foster care. The main reasons that people are in SNAP are threefold: is I lost my job, as you saw in your previous clip, my wages have been reduced, or I have a family member to take care of. Most people are in SNAP either 6 months to 24 months, but it's all depending on the economy. So what does it look like moving forward? Benefits in November will be delayed unless the Secretary of Agriculture uses reserve funding to move forward, but it's a little bit more complicated at that because states have to send these files, right? The files of the amount of people that need those services. Those files are sent to a vendor. That vendor then tells USDA the amount of money. USDA then sends it to that vendor. The process, it takes a long time. So at this point, USDA was very aware that it had until yesterday to ensure that everything moved forward so that benefits would not be delayed. So in a base case scenario, that the secretary changes her mind and issues funding, say Monday or Tuesday, we are going to see a delay in benefits. But it is important for individuals to know that if the secretary changes her mind and issues those fundings, or if Congress reopens, people will get their benefits. It will just be more complicated. The last thing I think is important for people to know is that retailers are also impacted by this.
So
I'm talking about the small retailers, the mom and pops.
Are there no backup funds for a program that millions of Americans rely on?
There is. It's called contingency funding that Congress has instituted. It's public. It's in the public. They also have Section 32 fund, which is the same authority that they utilize to be able to fund WIC as well. And they also have credit corporation funding, which is what they utilize with commodities.
So we have the Senate Republicans. They're discussing voting on a bill to prevent this loss of food aid before next Saturday's deadline. Is that all it takes? One Senate vote to keep Americans from going hungry?
It's even more simple than that. It really does take the secretary to do the same thing that they did with WIC, saying, hey, we're going to change one pocket of funding and we're going to put it here. And it takes less time than having to go through Congress and utilizing what money, where would they come from?
That's not my.
So you have data from the
internet, by the
Department of
way.
Agriculture, and it shows 1 in 8 Americans relies on SNAP. And a headline in Axios reads, Colorado food banks face crisis as SNAP expires. So, I mean, how are the food banks preparing to fill the void if SNAP is suspended?
This is crazy. I'm sorry. I can't even become a hustler, an investor hustler. Um, because this is done. I mean, to be honest, and this is, I don't want this to come across as cold hearted because we've all been on hard times. Heck, I could use all the help I can get right now too. I got two small children, so I get it. Um, when you have to rely on the federal government to come save you, and you could feel any type of way you want to feel about it. Maybe you feel like they should, or there should be something. If you're already in that mindset, you've already lost. It's better where I now I don't want to say better, but what I tend to operate from is like I'm not waiting for anyone else to come and try and feed my family. I got to get out here and do whatever I must do to make this happen. And uh yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I have to say about that. And we all fall on hard times. There's elderly people. There's always, some special caveats, and rightfully so. But for the rest of us, we definitely got to get out here and try to find a hustle. So, and what I can tell you is a lot of it's moving digitally online. So if you guys can figure that out, I think it'd be better out. I'm thinking about doing a segment to where I could just help people, maybe do a couple live streams where I can help people if you have any property management questions or maybe real estate related questions, because that's my field of expertise. Um, Open it up. So who knows when I'll do that, but if that's an interest that you guys have, it's just my way I can give back. Maybe assuming you already have a property, or maybe you're curious about real estate and you want to invest in it and you had a couple questions. I don't know everything, but I do know a little bit of a lot. Um, so yeah, I would love to know in the comments section if you guys that's something you guys would be interested in. So, and I'll make some other announcements in coming videos just about that to see if an there's a need for that, or not a need, but if there's a demand. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.